Well, they are covering this story over on the news at 7 on the BBC Scotland channel shortly. Laura Maciver is here to tell us more. Who are you hearing from tonight, Laura?
We are hearing from both sides of this really interesting case for land reform legislation, Laura. So we'll have that. Also tonight, we're going to hear from some Edinburgh residents about a dome over some tennis courts that is problems with their views and their sleeping as well, believe it or not.
Dear.
Finally, we'll be asking, could reintroducing wolves to the Highlands help save woodland by culling deer? We'll speak to the academics who think that might be the case.
All the big questions.
7 o'clock, BBC Scotland channel and iPlayer, Laura.
Good stuff. Thank you, Laura.
Hello and welcome to the News at 7, where we get to the heart of the day's stories and communities across Scotland. Tonight, a test case of land reform laws. What would you say then to those that own the land and others that maybe agree with them, that say, you know, they did have legitimate plans for this site, which proposals to the council that were rejected. So they might argue this land wasn't neglected, they were actually trying to repurpose it.
So I can't speak on the particulars of the planning permissions that they tried to get through, or you're an owner that's sitting on land because you're waiting for the price to go up or you're speculating. You're not using that land as productively as you could. You're not working in the public interest.
A dangerous precedent then. Some might say that it could ultimately be.
No, so we see it as a really exciting precedent. And so if it causes a bit of noise within the kind of Scottish land sector, really.
Well, joining us now is Jennifer Hall from Alzheimer's Scotland to talk more about the disease and some of the impacts. Janice, well after this announcement today. Tell us more about some of these early symptoms that people can experience. Janice talked about anxiety and also difficulty with tasks like navigating. Even more important then to talk about things that might be lesser known symptoms, and how would you advise somebody then to take that on if they are feeling like something has changed? And that will be there from your organisation, others, BBC Action Line 2. Listen, Jennifer, thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
Good to see you, thank you. Now, it has been built to provide cover for some tennis courts, but a giant inflatable dome, which has been likened to a huge bouncy castle, has caused uproar in an upmarket area of Edinburgh. Residents in Stockbridge have dubbed the structure an enormous zit and say it blights the area's Georgian architecture. Some locals say they're also being kept awake by noise and vibrations. Richard Forbes reports. Right, let's get around it now of the stories making the BBC News app in Scotland. A fatal accident inquiry has begun into the death of an 11-day-old baby at Glasgow's Royal Hospital for Children. Sophia Smith died in 2017 after contracting an infection similar to MRSA, which developed into sepsis. The nurse Sandy Peggy, who's in the middle of an employment tribunal against NHS Fife, has been called to a separate disciplinary hearing by the Health Board. The Norwegian company Maui says it's bought 2 uninhabited Scottish islands where it plans to build new salmon farms. There's Sanda off the Kintyre Peninsula and Flatahuin off Northern Skye. And permission is being sought to demolish one of the oldest industrial buildings in Scotland. Carley Mill in Innerleithen in the Borders has severe structural issues. Well, for more information on all of these stories, you can scan the QR code. It's there for you on the screen now. It will take you to the BBC Scotland News app, where there is much more for you, including the story of a company near Stirling that's been fined after 2 workers were injured. Now, reintroducing wolves to the Highlands could help native woodlands grow and keep red deer numbers under control. That's according to a study by researchers at the University of Leeds. They say it could help the problem of deer eating tree saplings, which stops natural woodland regeneration. The study suggests about 170 wolves would be needed to reduce the red deer population. Of the Agency Unfiltered on this channel at 10:30 tonight, or you can watch all episodes now on BBC iPlayer. Weather time now. Christopher's here. There are a few flakes of snow today.
Yes, and a few more overnight as well, Laura. In fact, there's a lot going on.
Wow, it's like a swing from winter to spring within the week.
Yeah.
We'll keep everyone posted though, won't we, Chris?
We will indeed.
Thank you so much. And thank you very much for being with us tonight. I'll be back again tomorrow at 7 at the same time, and you can stay up to date in the meantime on the BBC News Scotland website, and in the morning in case there's any weather problems over on BBC Radio Scotland. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.